welcome to another live stream of AC Syndicate, my 100% series. Today we're going to be finishing Sequence 4 and getting started on clearing out the Thames, and if you have time, and if it's available, clearing out the World War I section of the game. So before we get things started, I actually do want to take a look at the skills, see what I can get. I have the ability to get one skill, a level 2 skill, and I think I'm actually going to get stealth. Because we do kind of have like a assassination mission coming up, so any points towards stealth will probably be good. Before we get things started, I actually did notice that if we go into progress tracker, we go into not associate activities, on stories. Apparently you do have a mission available for the train hideout, so we're actually going to take care of that right now. And if we may take care of it right now, I should clarify, like if the train hideout mission is above level 3, then we will just save it for later.
Tell you.
This is level 3. Let's do it.
I need a wee bit of advice. These past few days when I've been doing my round, some bampot starts following me. Nervous looking laddie. Oh, he's up to no good.
Tell you what, do your rounds as usual. If he appears, I'll keep an eye on him. When we return, put him into the train.
Aye, all right.
We do also have another mission in on the train hideout. So it looks like it was given by Green. I'm just gonna follow this around a little bit and maybe, actually no, we can get there faster on foot. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit of a track, but we should be able to make it just fine. I actually kind of encountered copyright yet again with my first stream of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. It was actually not the actual game Chain of Memories, but I got flagged 4 times when I was watching the movie 358 Days Over 2. And I also found out I actually kind of screwed things up a little bit, where I actually wasn't supposed to, go to the start the main game until I actually read the entries, Irox's diary, and the secret reports, because apparently the rewards for getting like the 13 cards actually don't trigger until after you read the reports, and apparently they also don't trigger if you already started a save. So next time we stream Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Members, I should say, we're actually going to be starting a new game, and we're going to make sure that everything is actually saved properly. So we're going to be going into the Rocks 358 Days Over 2 again, and just make sure all the reports are read before we go ahead and start a new game. And we're actually not going to go too far because I want to verify that I have all 13 cars, and if I don't, we'll just back out and we will try and do it again. But I'm hoping I don't have to watch the movie again, but apparently if I do, I can just go into chapter selection and just go ahead and I can just go into chapter selection and just skip to the end each time, just get through it faster. But we probably will still need to go into the credits again. Go up just to avoid the guards on the ground. I've actually been kind of a little bit impressed lately with the amount of growth this channel has actually gotten lately, and the amount of growth that my YouTube channel has gotten as well, because I'm actually 2 subscribers away from getting 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is actually a pretty big milestone. I'm also at 63 followers on Twitch, and considering that it wasn't that long ago actually when I was under 20 followers, and it was just so hard for me to thank you. It was just so hard for me to be able to get even like over 20 followers, and now I'm at 63, so it really kind of makes me feel kind of happy about that. Yeah, wow, that's actually a pretty good time saver.
Agnes, take care. There's a gang out looking for you.
Ugh, not at all. Just one gleek little laddie following me.
You certain?
Certain as can be.
There he is, the rascal.
Do I have any optional objectives? No.
Are you hiding from someone?
Watch where you're bloody going.
Oh, so sorry, miss.
That's missus to you, you great oaf.
Definitely being very suspicious.
What's that man doing, Mama?
you, damn pillock. Sorry, but that woman's from an important gang.
Gang? What gang's that?
I think it's in a train.
Sounds like the bastards will be okay, look. Alert the lads on the rooftops. We'll take her out.
She's right there. The one with the ninny following her about. There she is! Take her out!
Who's that in?
That bloke couldn't keep up with her task.
Who's that in?
They climbed up.
Who's that idiot following her? You, stay there.
What are you doing up there?
What? They didn't fire a shot! They didn't fire a shot! What the heck? Dude, that's bullshit! You didn't even fire a shot!
There she is! Take her out! About that moron following her. She's the one we're after.
Climb up, Evie!
You there! Don't move!
There she is! Take her out! Forget about that moron following her. She's the one we're after.
You over there! Don't...
I almost screwed it up right there, but we got it done.
Agnes, are you all right, dear? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? There's a whole gang out to get you. No, some idiot can't even follow me proper.
No, they're dangerous. There might be an ambush in the station.
Didn't he be daft?
I must get to the station before Agnes does.
Come on. There you go, and just one more.
No mercy if you try anything on. I know you're there, so there's no point thinking otherwise.
There you go.
That's that then? Now, what's happening with the fellow who's following Agnes?
Okay. And let's go.
Who are you?
Nigel Bumble.
Why were you following us?
I want to join your gang.
Oh, for Christ's sake, he knows who we are now. All right, laddie. I can use you to tidy up the train a bit, if you didn't mind getting dirty.
Really? Terrific. You won't regret it, miss.
100% sync.
Nigel's in a spot of
Something
trouble.
troubling you, Evie, old girl?
This is level 3 again. I actually kind of want to go over here and check out you. Actually, take a look at skills. And I also want to check the progress tracker because it doesn't actually tell me what level Green's thing is. Oh my god, lag. Whoa, what the fuck is going on? What's with the lag? Just find out.
Miss Fry, I brought some books. I hope I'm not intruding by being here.
Quite the contrary. It's nice to have the company. A herbarium? Are you collecting flowers for someone?
Only myself. I'm told it's something of a British pastime. Did you know they all have symbolic meanings?
I had heard something of the sort.
Of course you have. Unfortunately, I have no time to fill the book.
I could collect some samples, if you would accept my help.
I would appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Fry.
Okay, so this is just a cutscene. Let's go back and I guess we can... Actually, let's, we're actually out of supplies a little bit, so we're gonna fast travel here. And we're gonna restock on supplies and then we'll go ahead and do the next train mission. I am hoping that there are, I think there's like 5 missions, maybe 6 in this section. And I think we have just done 3. I'll try to actually resupply.
Best in the old city.
Oh, we actually have everything. So you've done 3 and there are 5 total.
When you made up your mind?
We may actually be stonewall, not by the level, but by gear we don't have yet. Because I know that there's a grenade that we get later in the game, like, but we don't get that until sequence 5, so we may need to hold off at some point.
Nigel's in a spot of trouble.
Air of joie de vivre.
Nigel went out drinking with a gang last night. They ran up against some Templars and killed one. But Nigel was too sozzled to get away. Knew the constables have him up for murder.
Yeah, we have to be in a long. I guess we can just kill ourselves.
Anyone come over there? You think you can annoy me? You got me fine.
Oh, thank you, Constable. And you just don't give a fuck. I guess what we can do is get to a high building and just kill ourselves with fall damage. Or not. Not what I want to do either. Come on, just kill yourself so you can get to the objective faster. Thank you.
This is going to go bad for you. Confess, and you'll save us all some grief.
Oh, I didn't do nothing. So help me, Bob. Miss Evie, we kept buying drinks. The next thing I know, they say I burnt someone.
Nigel.
I had one too many and lost all my things. There must be scatters all about. Oh, and there's a knife out there too. Could you get them before the Rozzers do?
Shut up!
Don't kill any policeman during the investigation.
Some sort of commotion.
Here's something. Oh, no, nothing.
Okay, just one more policeman to take out. Okay, and destroy. You think that burying the evidence, like literally burying the evidence to kind of make it a little bit obvious, but okay.
Female intruder! Alarm!
Okay, and destroy. really trying to.
Get the intruder!
Well, I was hoping he wouldn't see me there, but that's fine. You gonna move? Let's see where this guy goes. That's perfect. And destroy. And hide the body now. Luckily, all the policemen are knocked out. Really kind of wish there was I could move faster. I guess I can. I can hold RT. Speak to the chief of police.
And what evidence are you holding this man?
Why on, Sergeant?
I believe at a minimum you need a body.
We can't find a thing, Inspector.
You botched another one, Sergeant.
100% sync. I'm right back, Charles Dickens mission. I'm gonna save that for when we get there naturally. So I believe this is actually the last train mission we have. Yeah, so just have one more left. Onto skills. Don't have any skill points.
Okay. Good for putting a bit of stick about.
That Nigel's got some wee caper.
This is what we're gonna be saving for later because that's a level 5 mission. We're working on level 3 stuff. So let's go ahead and actually we're gonna swap to Jacob.
It permits one all sorts of like.
It's going to do our first, or really kind of our third assassination missions, but it really count the the first two and sequence 1 and 2 because they're just kind of like really easy and short. I guess it's down to our third. Skills. Just want to get the second level of stealth so to make the upcoming mission a little bit easier.
Step aside, Evie.
Someone help! Stop that thief!
I'm much of a thief.
Please! The devil ran off that way! They stole my car!
You and I may not agree, but I have never done you wrong. You settle down, or I'll rip your guts
Mr.
out.
Owen, you are truly the most insufferable fellow I have ever had the misfortune to count among my acquaintances. Mr. Dickens was right.
Foul weather wouldn't know where to have you. Foul weather. I have told you before, sir, I had nothing to do with that anonymous article. Nothing, I say.
That is a lie, sir. And you know it.
Bah, I don't have time for this nonsense.
Nonsense! It is my name and reputation you have willfully besmirched, sir. My very name.
Bah! Drive, damn you, drive! Yeah!
That is Richard Owen, a vile, despicable wretch of a man.
Really? I could have sworn you were close friends.
Mr. Owen works at the asylum. He will know who made the syrup. Get him! Get him!
Faster, you nitwit! Faster! Whatever Darwin is paying you, it's not worth it. Do you realize how much trouble you're in?
None at all?
Bah, if you're trying to intimidate me, you're wasting your time.
I've always wondered how much of a beating this type of vehicle could take. I just have a few questions for you, sir.
Whatever it is Darwin wants, I will not give in.
Just smashing the side of carriages.
What about Starrick's soothing syrup?
Soothing syrup? Why would a scientist have any interest in panaceas?
I wager your life, Mr. Owen, that you know something.
Stop! I'm telling you, I do not know a thing. I swear. Nor have I involved, or have I ever been involved with anyone selling that famous medicine.
There may be some truth to that, but you do know who created it. Tell me.
I will not utter a word.
Next stop, the River Thames. Better speak now, old man. Next stop, the River Thames. Better speak now, old man.
Stop! For pity's sake, stop, or I would tell you everything I know. good sir. Stop this madness.
Now, was that so hard?
Yes.
Hey, there we go. And the freebie mission. Oh my god, stop. Stop getting interference. I just slightly tap the connection with my headset to my controller and it just freaks out. Okay, let's go and do this assassination mission. It's actually one that I remember some parts of it, but I don't remember. I remember like the ending of it. I remember like the assassination ending. I'm gonna try and go for that unique assassination. But I remember there's something about this mission that I didn't really particularly like. That's why I was kind of ended off a little bit early before I did this mission last Sunday.
Mr. Fry, I trust that you had a productive meeting with Mr. Owen.
Oh, yes, we had the most wonderful chat. I found out the man behind Starrick's soothing syrup is John Elliotson.
Dr. Elliotson, I haven't heard that name in a long while. He was a brilliant heart specialist until he became obsessed with phrenology and mesmerism. It ruined his career. Well, how shall we proceed?
Oh, with all respect, Mr. Darwin, I believe I should proceed alone. After all, we wouldn't want to attract any unwanted attention.
Sounds very wise. Good luck, my boy. Oh, and Mr. Fry, should you find yourself with any free time, please do call on me.
Pricked her key and said she was fired. The bugger.
I was hoping I could assassinate him and avoid any attention, but it didn't really work out.
Where would I find the doctor?
Oh, dude, that's brutal. Oh, dude, that's brutal.
As you've just witnessed, the application of too much pressure can sometimes result in unexpected outcomes. Unfortunately, it appears I've ruined the organ. Send up a cadaver.
At once, Dr. Elliotson.
don't care about your ethics. And I care even less about your damn patience. Now hand over your keys.
What are you doing?
Haven't you heard? You're fired. Now bugger off.
A bloody handprint on the window.
How to do it.
I'm trying to... trying to figure out how you get to that electro convulsion thing. There we go. I need to hide the corpse.
Get the intruder! Try and knock him out!
Take back, you filth.
How hard can it be to fix a bloody crack in the wall? And don't come back!
Bye. Yeah, we should have 100% sync now. I should point out that if you're doing this method, Dr. Elliottson will go into a little speech, but if you let it go on too long, then he will kill you and you will get desynchronized.
Here it is, Doctor.
We will continue our experiment shortly. In a moment, we will compare the brains of our two specimens.
Just gonna do it now. I could let him continue, but I don't know when the cutoff time of when they'll kill Jacob, so best to do it now.
At last it ends. Yet I can only think of beginnings. A better tomorrow. Forged with the blood of visionaries.
All I see is the blood of a lunatic.
Do you truly believe murdering an old man will stop humanity's great architect? Crawford Starrick has a glorious design for mankind.
Designs are meant to be broken.
You're a child. A child who believes he can solve all the world's woes with a flick of a blade. Have you ever pondered the consequences of your actions, Jacob Fry? Or did your father teach you nothing?
Someone get him!
Keep an eye on that. Done you are. Someone come in from behind.
Climb up. Let's leave. You did not fire a single bullet, so essentially this area should have 100% sync. %, sync. There we go. And there's an achievement.
Expired, and soothing syrup production has ceased. Outrageous!
Fry intends to endanger all of London at the hands of the mob.
Or perhaps it doesn't intend much of anything at all. But is simply content to dice with our lives.
The asylum is shut up. Medical care throughout the city is in disarray. He cannot understand the consequences of his actions. The man is clearly an anarchist!
Gentlemen. This tea was brought to me from India. By a ship. And up from the harbor to a factory, where it was packaged and ferried by carriage to my door. Unpacked in the larder and brought upstairs to me. All by men and women who work for me. Who are indebted to me, Crawford Starrick, for their jobs, the time, the very lives they lead. They will work in my factories, and so too shall their children. And you come to me with talk of this Jacob Fry. This insignificant blemish who calls himself assassin? You disrespect the very city that works day and night so that we may drink this miracle, this tea.
I'm nearing the end of my research. Our beloved London shall not suffer such a bothersome fool for much longer.
And what of the sister I've heard of, Miss Fry?
Miss Fry shall be gutted. Soon enough. Delicious.
Sorry to interrupt, Initiate. Thought you'd like to know that Sean and Rebecca got away from Otzoberg. Berg runs a unit called Sigma Team. Violet DaCosta is his tech support. They've been hunting and killing assassins for a long time. Thank God you're all right.
Oh, tish tosh. It'll take more than a Templar super soldier to end the glorious saga of Sean Danger Hastings.
I was talking to Rebecca.
Right. Anyway, Berg's presence confirms it. The Peace of Eden is in London.
The Initiate's data sync suggests it's the Shroud.
The Templars seem to want it pretty bad all of a sudden. They must know something we don't.
The only thing we know is that we can't go up against Sigma Team alone.
Leave that to me. In the meantime, keep a low profile. Let the Initiate continue to sync the data.
I always loved Sean Hastings so much. John Ellison is dead, and Starrick's soothing syrup has been eradicated. I'm shut down one branch of Starrick's enterprise. Jacob looks to loosen Master Templar's hold on London's transportation. Meanwhile, the race for the Shroud of Eden continues, and Evie hopes to gain an upper hand on her over an enemy Lucy Thorne.
Owning the railway wasn't enough. Now Starrick has bought an omnibus company as well. I suppose he wants to control the neighborhood's workers and keep them under his thumb.
Pearl Attaway is Starrick's competitor, is she? Perhaps it's time I went into business.
And Miss Fry, what are your plans?
I studied the history we recovered from the Kenway Mansion's hidden room. I'm off to a certain monument.
Before we do anything for the next main mission, we were actually going to be level 6, this is level 4, this is level 5. And I have something I actually want to do instead, since we do have a mission that takes place in the city of London, as well as where is it? Lambeth. I think it may be wise to try and clear off the Thames, Southwark, and City of London before we move on with the main story. What is this? Karl Marx memories. I'm also level 4, and it looks like that the final mission will take us into level 6 area. So I think it'll be wise to level up a bit. They're all level 5 missions, so maybe it's not really that big of a deal, but let's go ahead and we will take care of the Thames. And we also got a new gun, I think. Okay, I got all level 4 stuff. What about belts? 3, 3, 3, 4, 6, 5. A new outfit? That's just marking all the stuff we already saw. Yeah, let's go ahead and we will synchronize this viewpoint, then we'll go north, synchronize this one, and finally synchronize this one, then we'll get started on the gang takeover missions. The Thames is kind of like a weird location, at least to me, and it's simply because of the fact that the it's all of the gang takeover missions is along the all the gang takeover missions are along the wharf. So it's either on one side of the river or the other. I'm lagging a little bit again. Stop! God, freaking microphone. Oh, I also need to buy, I need to buy the chess map. Apparently the Thames is like notoriously like dirty or something. Because I always just hear references to like it not being like a pleasant experience to swim in the River Thames. I don't know how true that is. I've never actually been to London, so I don't really know what the Thames is actually like. I'm not actually making any progress. I'm going to the same place. So we're swimming. Even in this game, when oftentimes like when the the game references the River Thames. It's used as kind of like almost like a threat, like do what I say or I'm gonna like soak you in the River Thames or something like that. Like it's never like a positive, I guess, it's never used like positively. Like it's always, like especially in this game, like when the character refers to it, they kind of ought to refer to it as if it's not a pleasant experience. For I know, this may have been accurate at the time of the Industrial Revolution this game takes place in, but and maybe cleaner today, but I'm not really sure. This is where Fight Club is. I think about it. I did find out that there was one. I did find out that there was one in Whitechapel. I did see one in Whitechapel. Looks like there's one in the Thames as well. There was an achievement for completing all 3 Fight Clubs. We don't currently have them unlocked yet. Another Helix glitch. All the chests we had to clear out, Jesus. It will probably take me, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes us like the entire rest of the stream to clear out the Thames. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest here. This area is kind of hard to navigate. And the reason why it's hard to navigate is because it's just, there's a lot of water and a lot of your time exploring this area is navigating the water. It's not an easy place to explore. I'm just gonna like catch a ride with this thing like all the way up there. Just taking the easy way out. While we're in the Thames, stop doing that, Jesus Christ. While we're working on clearing out the Thames, I should mention that the gang leader of this area actually is, her gimmick involves poison, if I remember correctly. And I think she was the first person that I actually killed early in my first playthrough of this game. But I don't know if I'll be able to kill her early again this time around. It's just, you can technically kill every gang leader early except for the first one, K-Lock. If you are diligent about it, and if you are, diligent about it, and if you, are essentially are able to, like, get to the enemy, like, well into them, quickly. I honestly could have gotten the gang leader in Southwark if I actually was able. I think it's Southwark. No, it's Lambeth is what I'm thinking of. It's Lambeth. I could have killed the gang leader in Lambeth early if I simply. I could have killed the gang leader in Lambeth early if I just was able to, like, catch up to him in time. And maybe if I was playing as Evie, because Evie is faster than Jacob, I would have been able to do it. Stop doing that! Jesus. Oh my god, stop getting interference! Stop, stop, stop! Okay, so we had 3 Templar hunts and 3 bounty hunts. There's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay.
No exceptions, you hear? No documentation, no entrance to the port.
You took a wrong turn somewhere, boy.
There you go, now you just need to escape. And escape the area. 100% sync. Okay, let's go and do this bounty hunt. Okay, well, there's no boats coming, so we'll just swim it, I guess. Actually, on the border of a level. Got gold XP bars to be believed. There you go.
Thank you, friend.
Oh, you almost got Frederick Alberline to level 2. Looks like you get an outfit for it. Stop doing that. Gotta keep on getting static interference when it's just barely touch the thing. Maybe I should actually switch to Eevee, because if I'm correct, this next hold on. My dad has such a loud booming voice. I think this next mission will actually trigger the first gang standoff. Okay, we're almost there.
Them legs still work. Help a poor old man be safe from the street rats! I will shoot her down! This is about to get ugly. Stop her! Ho-ho! Them...
Okay, let's go ahead and put this away.
Let's go.
Here now. Easy now.
Come on, get down.
Come on.
There you go.
Charming.
We got a new outfit, looks like for Jacob, gunslinger coat. It looks like we actually didn't get the thing here. The early attack from the gang leader. So instead we're gonna go and do another mission with Evie and see if that triggers it. I want to restock on supplies first. I used both my smoke bombs and used 2 of my medicine. Evie can't really take as much of a hit as Jacob can, but she is faster than Jacob. I actually may be able to get a health boost. Oh no, I can't. I need another one for before. I guess what I can do is get Mutilate. Also go into inventory, weapons, at level 4, see if we can get a level 5 cane sword. No, we can't. You also can't get a better gauntlet because we don't have any that are craftable.
Else, you know where to find.
This may trigger the early gang attack. Where is this guy? Need to air assassinate the target. There you go. I don't know why it was behaving weird. 100% sync. Maybe you actually can't get the gang attacker. They can do one more. If we don't get it here, then we'll just switch to Jacob and we'll do the fight with the lady as Jacob. I love doing that to people. Just jump on their boat and just send them just flying. Okay. Go ahead and pick him up. Try not to use med potions. Thanks, Carriage.
Shield flag! Wait for it!
Stop. I want to pick you up.
There you go. Easy, easy.
Look at all these carriages he carelessly left behind, you guys.
Gotta go. That's it.
I'll send one of the medical staff down to assess the damage.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
What's that thing? Time to end this.
She's ours now. Don't play up on her.
Gang leader eliminated, did it early.
She's tiring. I'm gonna be respectful to law into You'll be sorry for that. In your troubles no more.
First guy, I did it early. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to Jacob. We're gonna do the rest of the thing with Jacob, because I'm actually more comfortable with him than I am with EV. My playstyle is like often like involves fighting rather than stealth, so I'd rather play as Jacob since he can actually take a couple hits. Let's see, what do I want? I get mutilate was actually kind of helpful, so I'll grab that.
You have excellent taste.
Those few who may have watched this series either on YouTube or on Twitch and have heard me say that you can kill every single gang leader except for the first one, K-Lock, early. Even though I wasn't able to do it with Lambeth, I hope you believe me now. If you're fast enough to catch up to a gang leader while they're running away, then you will be able to kill them early. And if you're actually able to beat them in the fight, I honestly recommend fighting Edith Swinburne early, especially like Edith Swinburne, because if you are fighting her legit in a gang war, her poison attack is actually no joke. I actually died to her a few times in one of my first playthroughs, and I think I actually played through this game a couple times actually. And I actually don't think I actually beat her early. I think I actually had to fight her in a gang war in my first playthrough. So dealing with her poison was definitely not that fun to deal with. Right. AC Syndicate, Thames, Templar Hunt, have a police officer kill a target. I'm just gonna mute my thing for a little bit. But not really. Well, I guess I mute my audio on my computer. Feels like you need to clear everyone except for the final guy. Okay, so this is actually going to be a tricky one. Actually gonna come from a different angle. There we go. And 100% sync. Skyrim God, I'm not really interested in buying viewers if that's what you are advertising. Buying viewers is actually kind of a bad idea as a Twitch streamer because you can actually get your channel permanently removed, permanently deleted from Twitch if you are caught doing that. So appreciate the offer, but I'm perfectly fine as I am. Stop doing that shit. God, I freaking hate it when it just gets a static. Stop. Where am I going? Over there. I think I even remember, like, going back to my discussion of the Thames actually kind of being used sort of like as an insult. I think it was actually kind of used as far back, like even like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think Abel or someone just says about like throwing someone into the River Thames as an insult, or as a threat, I should say.
Round up the gang. We'll be challenged to the gore.
The Rooks are in good standing with Miss Swineborn no longer leading the Thames Blighters. Good luck to both sides.
This borough belongs to us! The
Dude, that execution is so brutal. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Jacob and Evie Fry. And as of this moment, you all work for us.
New sequence unlocked, sequence 8. Why do we have sequence 8 available? I can't do that until we get to that point. Yeah, let's go ahead and clear the area of collectibles. I have a lot to do here. Get started. Are there any beer bottles to find here? Looking at the thing, there are not. Makes sense. One skill not enough to get anything.
Why can't they just leave us be?
If achieved notoriety within London, Maxwell Roth would like to meet you. Return to the current hideout to begin the sequence. We're not gonna worry about that. I don't know why we got that early. That should be much later in the game. Should be much later in the game. Maxwell Roth is one of the final Templars we go after. This game, like second or third, or maybe only two. Crawford Starrick and Lucy Thorne. We're not gonna worry about Maxwell Roth probably for like another 10 or 15 streams, if I can be perfectly honest here. Yeah, that's not it. Maybe we need to... And maybe we need to jump on the bridge. Get a marker there and we'll fast travel back here. Oh, I got an outfit from, I think it's, Aberline, maybe? Oh, it's not, it's the train thing here.
Come on, prove me right. You're gonna punch a collie boy. Prove me right. You're gonna be so bad. You can't tell me what to do.
I thought it said defend bullies for a second there, so I thought it was like a bully mission. Still not it. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. God. Jump down, I almost said Ezio, Jacob. Oh my god, why couldn't you jump to that? Gonna be this hard to grab a Helix glitch, but I'm kind of struggling here. Yeah, just run along down here, and we'll try and do this a third time. This time, hopefully, we'll get it. I think I was too far away from the thing to get it the first time. There we go, we got it. 3 of 23 in the Thames. Come on, loot it. I'm actually gonna go to where the area where the World War I memory is to see if it's there. There you go. Got him. Just press flower. Grab this chest here. I think the is here, maybe? Is it further back? No? I don't think it's here. Because I think the portal is actually would spawn here, but I don't see it. So it makes me think that it's not here. We'll worry about this later.
Someone help! Stop that thief! Someone! I wonder what's going on. I'll tear you apart!
Yeah, 6 or 15. I actually don't think it would be. Maybe it will. Yeah, well, that was good. Go over here and we'll grab this illustration. A little bit worried I wouldn't be able to get that from the bridge. Okay, almost there. Well, I kind of hate like clearing out the Thames. It just takes a while to get from point A to point B because this area is just all water essentially. It's really hard to navigate. I don't know why it won't let me climb up. Been actually playing a little bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey lately. But people may or may not be aware, but I kind of had like a really chore-y, I guess you could say, passion project with that game. Where I'm trying to 100% and essentially 100% the game with both normal mode and New Game Plus, using each of the 3 builds: Assassin, Warrior, and Hunter. Just see how broken like those in-game builds are. And I already finished the Assassin thing, and I did one of the Warrior playthroughs. I'm currently working on New Game Plus as Warrior, and so far I'm 100% in that game 3 total times, and I'm working on 100%ing it a 4th time. But every single playthrough, it's like I just find like more and more, I find out like, discover like more and more new things about that game, and it's like recently, when I was playing that game, I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there's a mission you can do on the region of Evia where, in relation to finding out like who the identity of this gang leader, this whatever you want to call it, the gang leader of a gang terrorizing Evia is called the Kingfisher. In large part, there's like a side quest chain tied to Evia, which just has you investigating the identity of the Kingfisher. And there's a mission you do where you have to either talk to someone, try and get them to stop like blackmailing this couple that runs a theater for kids, or you can just kill them. And you're kind of like forced to kill them in this side quest. And because even if you manage to talk to him, like, he's not gonna like let you go. He's just gonna try to start something and try and kill you, so you have to like defend yourself. But it makes you feel bad because the moment you kill him, his kids come home and discover that you killed their father. And it's just like a really sad and fucked up quest, but there's really no way you can actually be the good guy in that quest. But anyway, what I was trying to say was, when you get back to that couple, they're kind of captured by these guards, the gang members, and they kind of give you the ultimatum: either save one, save the other, or save neither. And by save neither, I mean like you can just have Cassandra or Alexios just say, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and then they'll just kill both of them before you can even do anything. And I actually thought that there's only like we could only like lose one or the other or neither, and I actually found out there was actually a way where you can actually save both NPCs, which I didn't even think was actually an option. So for the first time, like a week or so ago, I actually managed to save both of those NPCs for the first time. It actually did kind of have a unique cutscene, which I actually do kind of appreciate. Like, that game just kind of impressed me, I guess you could say. Like, it doesn't do it for every single mission, but if you manage to like save an NPC who would typically die, like oftentimes the devs will think of that as an option. They'll make a unique NPC where there's actually still alive, which I think is actually kind of a cool thing that the game does. I still kind of have problems per se with Assassin's Creed Odyssey overall, but it's not by any means like the worst game. I actually kind of like the game quite a bit. It just kind of has some things that just kind of triggers me, I guess you could say. It definitely is a game that has its problems, but overall it's kind of a positive experience for me. I play like, I think I may have a total of about like 600 hours, maybe almost like 600 or 700 hours of playtime in that game. I played that game a lot. I put so much time into that game, and I wouldn't really play a game if I'm not really if I don't really enjoy it. I actually had to stop playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I wasn't having fun with it anymore, and it was just constantly just starting to frustrate me. And it's not just people. There's some people that do like Valhalla. Some people that actually think that that game is actually kind of fun. It's overwhelming for me in terms of content, but I feel that if I play that game in moderation, I will enjoy that game a little bit more. So that's why I'm just kind of like, sort of like excited to actually be able to like stream that game one of these days, because I could just like play that game for like 3 hours, and then in that 3 hours I just 3 hours a week, and that's something that's actually more manageable for me than just playing the game for like more hours, like maybe like 20 hours during the week or something. Like 3 hours a week is not that bad, and I feel like that definitely makes the game more manageable in my opinion. But still, it's a game that still has problems, as I said. Like, I think my main problem with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the combat is quite possibly like the most boring thing. Like, it honestly could be improved if they actually just kind of like tweak the AI of the enemies to make them a little bit more difficult to fight. But it's essentially just all like button mash victory, and it's just there's no like real challenge with the combat except for some of the bosses. Another thing that I kind of have a problem with is stealth. Like, stealth is essentially optional in that game, and it's not really programmed well. Like, there are times when I am trying to like stealth through someone, and I'm trying to use my ability to stealth someone, and it actually doesn't. It actually doesn't. It actually doesn't let it work as intended, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, that is in Southwark. I made a mistake, but oh well. I had a feeling, but I also thought that it could be another situation with the Lambeth, where I got like every single collectible in the game, and I found out missing one that was on the border. Oh, I see. I was so confused there for a second. I'm actually getting kind of hungry. We had a steak last night, and it was kind of a meaty steak, but it had like a lot of fat on it. It was really good. I actually couldn't finish it. And maybe if I can't do it from this side, maybe I can do it from here. Okay, so that's not it. Where can we go then? Oh, you know what? It could be It's a zip line. That's what it is. I was indeed correct. Dude, freaking not Edward, Jacob literally almost just face planted on that deck of that skiff. I feel like if I were trying to do that, I would be dead. Oh, okay, nothing there.
What's going on there?
I could really make a difference.
2 of 4 in the Thames. Kind of being pushed through different directions in my life right now. I'm kind of at the point in my life where I'm actually kind of wanting to like move out of my parents' house. I kind of feel guilty about like living off them for so long. It's not like I'm living in their house for free. I do kind of pay rent. But I'm actually kind of thinking that when I publish my first book, depending on how much money I make off of it, I may save up for a small apartment, and if I don't make enough money off of it, then I may just try and like get a part-time job and just try and earn money that way. Because I'm 28 years old and been living in my parents' house since I was born, obviously. And I just kind of feel that I've been kind of leashing off them for too long, and I'm actually feeling like really guilty off of living for them. It's not like I'm like doing anything to harm them or anything. It's not like I'm just being a burden or anything. It's just I just kind of want to be able to live out on my own. I think I'm ready, but it's just kind of tough. It's kind of tough because it's just, in theory, if I am able to become affiliate on Twitch, which I am one category away from getting it, which is having an average of 3 viewers in a month, and in theory, if I'm able to like get a certain a type of income off of my first book, if I can get all that done, then I may be able to like have enough money, make enough money where I can just survive to pay bills for like a cheap apartment, but I don't know if I can. It's just the information that I have heard about the money that is made from, actually in the Thames, the information that I heard about the money that is made from like the first book of a publisher is kind of mixed. I have heard that from one source, that is very reliable sources, is my former English professor. I have heard that the money you make from your first book is not enough to live off of, but that may be different for me. It may be different for me because of the fact that I am, I also kind of could potentially have a career as a content creator. I could potentially earn 2 different paychecks, produced at 2 different sources, But what also could be different for me in my situation is I will be using this channel to advertise and sort of analyze my own writing. So I'm thinking that by doing that, by actually using my channel in conjunction with my own writing, then maybe I could have a chance of having enough money where I can just pay bills with these. But I don't know what... I can't really predict the amount of money I will make from that. Also, apparently the money you make from becoming affiliate is essentially less than minimum wage, so I honestly don't have any earthly idea just how much I'll make from it, or if it will be profitable in the first place. My end goal in life, my final career that I want to go for, is to be a writer for a video game company. I have been very passionate about video games pretty much my entire life, and I've been a writer since the 3rd grade. And I think that if I were to get a position as a writer for a game company, any game company, then I think that would be living the dream. I think I would have gotten like everything that I would have wanted in life, and I don't think there would be anything else that I would have to, that I would need. But I'm still far away from that goal. I am not gonna work towards applying for the Royal Game Developer, for the writer in a game development company, until I have at least 3 books published to build my writer resume. Also, apparently, I don't know if this is true because there's so much about the video game industry I actually don't know. But apparently, as script writers actually don't really have any control over the writing of the story, and really, if you want to write the story, you actually need to be a creative director, but I don't know if that's true. But regardless, like, whatever role I will have in the game company, as long as I can be writing storylines for the gaming industry, I think I will be happy. And I may also be the, probably not the first content creator that's also a game developer. I'll definitely be one of them. But honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest here, like my desire of being, my dream of being a writer for a game company wasn't actually always the case. When I left high school, I actually did not know what I actually wanted to do in my life, and I actually started my time in college working towards being a firefighter, because I was kind of like doubting myself. I did not think that I would be good at anything, and I essentially thought that I could just be a firefighter because I thought that anybody could be a firefighter. In my time in the fire science program, I heard and saw like so many horror stories involving like people who got like horribly burned to fire, and this is just like the teachers is trying to explain to their students that it's not going to be all like sunshine and rainbows. There is risk involved with the with the role of firefighter. But it's those stories in combination with the fact that I wasn't in shape and I probably wouldn't be able to survive like the physical training that is involved with the fire academy, like the amount of stuff we had to do in relation to exercise in order to qualify for a firefighter. It made me realize that I would not actually be able to actually be a firefighter, simply because of the fact that I am just not in shape. I was not in shape at the time. I was a couch potato. I did not exercise that much. But it did kind of open my eyes, I guess you could say, to alternative things I could do. Is actually because of my realization that I would not be able to do well as a firefighter, and I probably wouldn't be able to succeed in that. I decided to go back into like the field of English and just took like a creative writing class to see what I could do with it, just to like experiment. And the moment that I presented a poem, I wrote to my creative writing professor, who is unfortunately deceased. He died of cancer a few years ago. He actually hugged me. He hugged me and he was incredibly moved by my poem, that he was essentially in tears. And it really opened my eyes to the possibilities. It made me realize that I actually did have a talent for creative writing. And it wasn't that long after before I started like trying to write storylines, stories for books again. But it took a while for me to actually find a storyline for a book that actually worked, that I was willing to sit down and write consistently, that I was actually passionate about. And once I found that story, it just became like a very positive experience to me. I should point out that my story, my novel that I've been writing since college, since 2018, it started out completely different than what it is now. I genuinely think that if I were to write the story as it was, like when it was first planned, it would not be nearly as successful, as positive in relation to people reviewed it. Like, I'm willing to bet you that if I were to just write in the same style, if I did not make the necessary changes, then more people would actually not like my story. And it could be entirely possible, and not climb up that, it could be entirely possible that I would be demotivated and not actually want to continue down that. I need to get up there. If I were to like give any advice for any aspiring writers out there, is just don't be afraid or don't be intimidated by criticism. I think one of my biggest mistakes as a writer is believing, like when I first started out my time in creative writing, I think my biggest mistake was actually foolishly believing that my story was perfect in every way and actually discrediting the opinions of others who actually had problems with it. Like, no story is perfect. Like, even as my story is right now, which has been revised so many times, that's changed so many times since I started writing my book, it still has its problems. I will admit it still has problems, but and I also do feel that there may be some people who would not particularly like that story, but that's okay. No story is perfect, and it's unrealistic for you to just create an actual perfect story. Every story has problems. But I think that if I were to just kind of give some sort of advice for like any aspiring writer, it's just listen to the criticism and decide for yourself whether or not the criticism is actually a good direction for your book, and don't be so quick to dismiss it. It just took me so long for me to just kind of get out of my ego, I guess you could say, where it just took me so long for me to get out of my egocentric mindset, where I was actually unwilling to like listen to the advice of others and think that they were wrong and I was right. And once I was able to get out of that mindset, I was actually able to kind of improve my writing dramatically, and that's a huge plus. Once I was able to acknowledge that. I'm also like a huge advocate of having like someone other than yourself to peer review your work, just so that you can just have a fresh eye and actually determine whether or not there was any problems with your writing. Because an author reading his own work is sort of biased, I guess I could say, where they're not as willing to acknowledge that it's this one over here. They're not as willing to acknowledge their any mistakes, because in their eyes it's so hard to find mistakes of something you've written, because you just don't really think of it as a mistake. So it's always like best to have like someone else like look at it. One of the things that I'm actually thinking about doing is when my book is published, I'm actually gonna be kind of doing something a little bit different, where I'm actually gonna be critically analyzing my own work and just like I was actually gonna make a post about this on YouTube, like a here to post. But my idea for that actually changed. Like one of the things I want to do was to just look at my own writing, just have it shown on screen, and just say what I like about it, and what works and what doesn't, what I was trying to actually do. In the Thames. So what I was trying to say before I got distracted by the combat is I'm gonna be like more so like analyzing my own work and just saying like what I was trying to like convey in the story and what I think works and what doesn't, like all this kind of stuff. And it's some of the things I was thinking about doing was just doing some character analysis, like how this character has changed, and also just analyze the themes I was trying to convey in my story. But the other thing I want to do, it's going to be like a series of vlogs, I guess to say. And the other thing I want to do is to try and do a kind of like a moment, like some behind the scenes moment as well, of the development of my series and what it was actually going to be before I revised it. And I think that'll be such a kind of cool thing for me to do, like as a writer, just critically analyze my own work and just kind of show some behind the scenes information of it. The other thing I want to do was, I was thinking that when I am kind of running out of topics to think about, I'm assuming that by that point I will be starting like book 2. And when I get to that point, I actually want to do like my top favorite moments of the story, what my most proud moments, I should say, of the story. And I think that could just kind of add some further character to myself as a writer, just kind of show the moments that I wrote that I was kind of most proud of. And this is just something I've been thinking about for a while. This is something that I have been, I just could say like passionate about for a while. And I would like to be able to just kind of share my creative work with you guys, but initially I was actually kind of thinking about doing some behind the scenes thing before the book was published, just trying to do those vlogs before the book is published. I think it would actually be better for me to do it when the book is published, after the book is published, I should say, rather than doing it before. But I guess there's one thing I will say about my book, just one final thing, is if you're a fan of the TV show Supernatural, if you're a fan of the occult, the concept of demons and heaven and hell and angels and stuff, you may actually like my story. Just kind of keep an open mind. I just want to like make something perfectly clear. I'm going to be writing about this in the preface that I haven't actually finished yet, but I do want to write a preface to my story. Is the characters present in my story that do have appearances in the Bible, like say God, are meant to be completely different from the actual characters they are meant to represent. And what I mean by that is at the shop. What I mean by that is like the characters present in my story are meant to be inspired by the characters referenced in the Bible, and they're not meant to be a literal representation of the characters. My character of God and how I portray it in my story is completely different from the biblical God, but I do make some allusions to what his character was like, to references to his character in the Bible within the my story and my portrayal of his character in my story. And I have had moments when I was trying to show my work to my mom, who is an uber Christian, and she actually kind of had problems that I was portraying God. And I just want to like reiterate that if you are Christian and you are expecting my story focusing on the conflict of heaven and hell to be 100% accurate to the story present in the Bible, you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed. Because I do kind of make some liberties, I do kind of take some liberties with some of their characters, but I do try and remain faithful to their characters as well, and just try and pay respect to them. I will never have a character in my story that is seen in the Bible just do something that they wouldn't. And add it to the wallet, okay? I would never like do something, have a character present in the Bible reflecting the story that do something they wouldn't outright like normally do. Like for example, like the character of God in the Old Testament, he was appeared as wrathful, I guess you could say, but in the New Testament, like kind-hearted, I guess. And I do kind of want to like pay any. Like a huge concept of God in the New Testament was the concept of forgiveness presented through Jesus, and I want to pay respect to that character and not actually kind of do something that he wouldn't actually do. But I also want to take liberties with this character and just trying to make him appear more relatable to the reader. Because my main problem with writing a story, with writing the character of God, is I actually did not want him to be all-powerful and all-knowing, because I feel like that he would be unlikable as a character. And my main thing that I was trying to actually do in revision and trying to make his character not only appear interesting to the reader, but also make him appear more human. And I think I have succeeded in that in the end. But I also kind of include a conflict that's meant to be like more of a representation of his role in the Old Testament, and kind of show his regret towards how he was in the past. Which is something that I'm trying to do to try and make his character more interesting, more empathetic, I guess you could say. But it's kind of one of the things I'm trying to like juggle, but I'm essentially would never be willing to write a character represented in the Bible and just kind of be essentially disrespectful to how they were represented. I want to pay the proper respects to them. I think it's just kind of a mistake, like when you're writing about characters from history. And you kind of see this today, I get to an extent, with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, you kind of have to like toe the line when you're representing a character from history, because there's a lot of people that are passionate about those characters that respect how they were presented in the story and their in history, and they want to make sure they receive the proper respects. And the same is true for religious figures. I remember South Park got a lot of criticism because they kind of portrayed Muhammad from I can't remember what I want to say Judaism, but that's not the right religion. I can't remember what Muhammad's from. But a lot of South Park got a lot of heat when they created the character Muhammad, which and they essentially got their show banned in some countries. And it's kind of like the example. It was kind of like an example one shows they don't want to do something that would kind of offend like a bunch of people, as you could say. Because it's just, you essentially have to toe the line. You have to toe the line and just trying to pay the proper respects when they're due. But you also need to just kind of be careful, I guess you could say. Because you do the wrong thing, you say the wrong thing, you have the character do the wrong thing, it could offend a lot of people. And honestly, the same is true for a lot of novel stories. Because once you have your novel series established, once you start to develop a fan base, if you have a character that people have grown to be attached to, do something that they don't particularly like, and they think that is problematic, you will kind of cause an uproar. And it's just kind of like kind of need to toe the line. You kind of need to understand that not everyone would actually kind of be willing to accept how you portray a certain character, and that's kind of the risk you had to take as a writer. There we go. City of London. Oh wow, that's another thing I got early. Not a big deal. It looked like it was in the Thames area. I'm actually getting very hungry right now. We're almost done with the stream. As soon as we clear out the Thames, we're just gonna be done right now. We're almost out with the Thames. We may wrap things up. I'm probably gonna wrap things up actually when we do the 3 viewpoints in Southwark. Got 18 new database entries. Okay, 24-25. Let's go over here and grab this Helix glitch. Okay, we're almost there. And we're here. Okay, all his glitches found. Let's grab this last chest. Shit! Okay, we survived. So now the Thames is now 100% completed. Let's go to Southwark now. So all we're going to be doing is we're going to synchronizing these 3 viewpoints, and then we will kind of do some... Oh, for a second there, I didn't see that. I didn't see I didn't see the haystack, so I thought I was gonna die. I was curious. I conquered every territory in this game my first playthrough, except for Westminster. I was not able to finish the Westminster thing. I don't know if I did the Strand either, now think about it. We have quite a bit of stuff to do here. Be saving that for next time. So as soon as we synchronize the 3 viewpoints here, then we're gonna be kind of wrapping things up. I'm gonna try and do all 3 of the gang, all the gang takeover missions. We did one of them in the Thames, but we're gonna do the same thing for Southwark and City of London as well. I think we have found the 3rd gang fight, maybe? No? Never mind. Okay, we're almost there. I remember hearing another, we're talking about critiques for a large part of this playthrough so far. Critiques I've heard, maybe even just the first one, I don't know. I remember hearing another thing that the buildings just weren't, they were a lot too far apart, and it's really kind of hard to like run across the roof and platform across them. And a lot of people, some of the buildings are actually impossible to actually climb. And I don't really know how true that is, because I really only use the zip line once I get it. But it's common criticism I've heard. Actually getting very hungry right now. Good thing I'm gonna be in the stream soon. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of this stream. I may have, so I may be talking in circles at this point. I actually got hit by copyright on my recent in a memory stream from yesterday. And I was able to resolve one of the copyright issues, but I couldn't actually... Because by resolve, I mean like I was able to mute one of the songs that was copyrighted. But I couldn't mute all of them. And I could only have the option to dispute, and I really only have... It's very rare for someone to dispute a copyright, a song that you got strike for copyright, because oftentimes, if you don't own the songs, then you're at fault. That's essentially how it works. So I didn't want to dispute the claims, but I wasn't able to get rid of the claims. I wasn't able to get rid of the song altogether because I only had one option, which was to dispute. So what I ended up doing is kind of sending like a ticket, like a letter, like a feedback note to the people at YouTube, and I'm hoping that by sending that feedback note, just kind of listen to the problems that I'm having, and I'm not really sure the proper way to go forward. Hoping that by doing that, I will actually be able to kind of get some feedback, and I'll be actually able to like get some actual information about whether or not it is safe to upload, because it's none of the copyright strikes that will affect my channel, but I feel like it could at some point in the future. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. Is oftentimes I encounter this so many times with whenever I stream Kingdom Hearts games. Like I always end up getting into copyright issues, and it's just so frustrating. Honestly, that's great. Gonna hold off on doing that for right now. Look at skills. You have 2 skill points. I mean, you can get SQ'd, but I probably won't use it that much. Very hungry right now. Like my stomach is actually growling. Okay, so I guess I can't craft it. I need schematics. I don't have the schematics. Take a look at that outfit. I think that's for Jacob. I guess it was for, that sucks. It was actually for, Eevee. Yeah, well, that's gonna do it for today. If you are remotely interested in what to see tonight, all the games I cover on my channel will be for 100% completion. I'm gonna be streaming, stop. I'm gonna be streaming, Assassin's Syndicate yet again next, Sunday, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. I'm gonna be streaming Sims 3 Pass to 100% completion on Fridays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I'm gonna be streaming Assassin's Creed, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for 100% completion on Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. That's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time. Hello everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to another post-stream session where we go over all the new entries for the database. I believe we have like 19 or 20 new entries to go over, so let's go ahead and get things started. Let's go ahead and load into the game. And we will go ahead and read some of the new entries. It is currently 10:19 in the morning, Monday morning right now, so I'm a little bit late to getting this done. It's the day after I started streaming, but I was just kind of dealing with a lot of copyright with Saturday's live stream for YouTube. Did I first go into progression log? Ooh. John Elliottson. Target bio, date of birth 29 October 1791, the son of a chemist and apothecary. John Elliottson attended Jesus College at Cambridge, which might explain his panache as a prophet. Fortunately, he chose mesmerism to preach. Forget the Virgin Mary, he avoided around with mesmerized twin sisters who he believed could see diseases inside others. They sound fun. Suffice it to say, he was not long for respected medicine, which, might I add, at that time, thought leeches were surgical instruments. One had to really try hard to be outside that box of horrors. Although he tried to weather the bumps with phrenology, Elliotson's practice declined until he was virtually penniless, at which point Mrs. Derrick approached him with an offer he couldn't refuse. This is in Lambeth. Simon Chase is Lambeth. Oh wait, no, this is Thames. Poison in the waterhole. Simon works at a chemical factory near the Lambeth docks. A waste disposal man, Simon gets paid by the crate and not by the hour. To avoid wasting time taking the crates to the waste disposal plant, Simon instead dumps his chemicals into the Thames and gets paid 3 times as much for it. That's on location, Lambeth Docks. Additional notice wanted for illegal dumping of hazardous waste into the Thames River, poisoning the water source. Emmett Sedgwick. The good old days briefing an old man with a storied criminal past. Sedgwick had several run-ins with the law, breaking and entering houses since before he can remember. Under the assumed identity of Tom Smith, he now works at the Southwark Docks, keeping a low profile. Police currently have a warrant out for his arrest, but crimes are dating back to Sedgwick's good old days. That's the location, North Docks of Southwark. Additional notice wanted for breaking and entering. George Scrivens. Get rich quick, briefing, eager to escape a life of poverty, but never one for hard work. George was always drawn to the get rich schemes. Recently, he's been spotted spending suspiciously large amounts and living a lifestyle too lavish for a man of his means. He is said to have ties to the London drug trade. That's no location, Thames Embankment. Wanted for dealing and possession of illegal substances. Okay, Child Liberation, we have none. Gang Stronghold, we have none. I don't think we do. No, we don't. Templar Hunt. This is Lambeth. The Jekyll Brothers, last known location, the London docks. Born to a long family of seafarers, the Jekyll Brothers, kin to Raphael, follow in their forefathers' footsteps. All sorts of illegal trade are thus welcomed within the London port, right under the government's nose. All imports go through the Jekyll Brothers and quickly find a home on the black market. One the police have a police officer kill one of the targets. Tom Eccleston. Yes, man, I need to drink my coffee. That's the location of the Thames boatyard. Briefing, Tom Eccleston is the fastest runner in London. A member of the Templar Order, he works as a messenger, carrying vital information that greatly impacts the city's political machinations. Oftentimes delivers government secrets with the order before bringing the letters to their final destinations. Strike from above, killed the target by forming an air assassination. And Captain Hargrave II, that's on location, sailing the Thames. Briefing, Captain Hargrave died years ago at the hands of his own son Samuel, who promptly stole his identity and his job, hired by the Templars to patrol the border of the Thames for intruders and wrongdoing. Samuel Hargrave has sent many a victim to the bottom of the river. With the fishes, disposed of the target's body in the Thames River. And Gang War, we have the Thames. Fight Edith Swinburne's gang and conquer the Thames. Edith Swinburne. Edith was never very fond of sobriety, and manic state she felt was necessary to provide her with the strength and gumption she needed to accomplish whatever she wanted. Edith only fights when intoxicated, allowing her to go berserk and become nigh invulnerable. She is truly a force to be reckoned with. I guess I was kind of wrong about her using poison. I thought she did. Like, maybe she used like a berserk state or something. I can't remember. Database. Encyclopedia, people, allies. Nigel Bumble, date of birth 22 February 1852. Bumble was born to a family of modest means. His father went door to door selling buttons and pins of tin, which was apparently a job back then. While his mother made do salvaging fabric from distressed bumper shoots. That's right, distressed bumper shoots. Nigel and his siblings, there appear to have been two brothers and a sister, run a musical ensemble with the intent of busking at the docks. This project met with failure, however, when Nigel, surprised by a recalcitrant goose, swallowed his mouth harp. On Nigel's 16th birthday, his parents determined to move north, whereas Nigel's mother claimed the hogs drink beer just as you or I. However, Nigel unaccountably became separated from his family at the train station and was left to shift for himself. Enemies. John Elliotson, this is all stuff we read before. Malcolm Milner, date of birth 11 August 1833. Malcolm Milner was the oldest of 5 children, born to a carpenter and a homemaker in Southwark. At the firstborn, his parents expected great things from him, and time after time they were disappointed. While his siblings grew up to become bank clerks, crewmen, and teachers, Malcolm had a hard time grasping basic concepts. Glancing through our files, it looks like he may have been dyslexic. At any rate, the boy would lash out violently at school, and he left home when he was a teenager. Milner's name doesn't appear again until 1864, when public records show him acquiring the Greater London Omnibus Company and renaming it to the Milner Company. How did he manage to buy a bus company? Perhaps he was skilled at driving backwards, or perhaps I have it backwards. As this marks the beginning of a number of smaller bus companies dropping like flies due to fires and disappearances. Same methods Milners would use to sabotage Attaway transport. At this point, Parisian cab companies should be taking note. Anyhow, it looks as though Stalk Industries brought out the Milner Company in 1867, around the time that Milner himself was being investigated for arson, assault, and murder. The investigation suddenly stopped that year as well, one of the benefits of working for Crawford Stalk, no doubt. The people. Richard Owen, date of birth 20 July 1804. So Richard Owen would never learn natural history at school growing up, which may have been his first mistake in life. Instead, he became a surgeon at the University of Edinburgh. Found working at the Hunterian Museum, cataloging plant and animal species specimens. Was elected to the research arm of the Zoological Society of London in 1830. He was the youngest and most active member of the group. By which I mean he did lots of work, but not that he was a jogger. By the middle of the 19th century, scientists were theorizing about the presence of the divine in natural sciences. Owen threw his hat into the proverbial ring by publishing papers outlining his theory on the origin of our species. In essence, Owen believed that the changes observed in animals occurred as a response to their environment, and that all species not only share a common archetypal ancestor, but that all species are progressing towards an idealized form, with humans already reaching their apex. From apes to apex, that would make a nice title for my autobiography. Oh, and if that doesn't make a lot of sense to you, don't worry. Owen's contemporaries felt the same way. Owen developed a reputation for overreacting to criticism and responding in anger, crossing the line of acceptable behavior and discourse in the scientific community. This was evident more than ever in his scathing reviews of On the Origin of Species, published by Charles Darwin in 1858. Owen stood by his own theories, even as his contemporaries came to embrace Darwin and natural selection. Feeling alienated from his peers in the field of biology, Owen focused on efforts on, among other things, establishing the Natural History Museum, which he did in 1981. It was 93 years later and promptly retired, which is what I will do when finally the old bird knights me. By the time Owen passed away in 1892, he was remembered for a little more than his opposition to Darwinism and his misplaced ego. But before you go knocking him down, keep in mind Richard Owen coined the word dinosaur. Let's see you top that. Location, City of London, Temple Church. The Temple Church was an early place of worship for our favorite people, the Knights Templar. The round nave, the trademark of the church, was built in 1185, was consecrated by Heraclius, the Patriarch of Jerusalem. The church was originally part of a larger monastic complex that included residences, military training grounds, and places for recreation. The Knights Templar used the church for initiation ceremonies, which would be held in a crypt beneath the nave. No doubt these ceremonies were creepy as hell. The church also served as a bank for the nobility, and this combined with the influx of gifts from the royal family made the Knights Templar very wealthy in the 10th and 11th centuries. The first known refurbishment of the church took place in the 17th century by English architect Christopher Wren. He installed an organ and altar screen in the church, but more notably, he whitewashed the church paintings and applied plasters to the marble columns in an attempt to fit the aesthetic taste of the time. His work was largely undone in 1841 when the church was destroyed by the architects Sidney Smirke and Decimus Burton. Doesn't that sound like a music hall double act? Please welcome the comedy songs of Smirke and Burton. Smirke and Burton's work gave the church a Victorian Gothic look, not only to fit the taste of the time, but to fit closely with the church's original design. So Smirke's intention returned the church to its original ideal form. You hear my dog barking, I'm sorry about that, I can't do anything about it. Blackfriars Bridge. The crossing was originally meant to be named Pitt Bridge in honor of the former Prime Minister Pitt the Elder. William Pitt the Elder, but the name never caught on. Blackfriars Bridge was built from 1760 to 1769 by the Scottish engineer Robert Milne and lasted about 100 years, requiring frequent repairs due to the subpar limestone used in construction. It was torn down in 1864 when the government determined it would be more cost-effective to simply replace the bridge than to keep repairing it. The new bridge, which is still standing, was designed by Thomas Cubitt and completed in 1869. In his Dickens Dictionary of London, published 10 years later, Charles Dickens Jr. described Blackfriars Bridge as one of the handsomest in London. If celebrity magazines were around back then, Blackfriars would have been called the sexiest bridge alive. And I think that's a reference to Ryan Reynolds' thing, because in a celebrity magazine, it was actually referred to as the sexiest man alive. The Lambeth Bridge. Before there was Lambeth Bridge, there was a horse ferry that ran between Lambeth Palace and Westminster. The horse ferry dates back as early as 1513. It was owned by the Archbishop of Canterbury. The Archbishop restricted his possession, including the ferry, during the English Civil War, and as the war went on, the ferry became an important crossing parliamentary control to keep supporters of the king out of Westminster. The horse ferry went out of business in 1750 when Westminster Bridge was built nearby, but Lambeth Bridge was built on the site of the original horse ferry in 1860. Designed by Peter W. Barlow to be a toll bridge, the steep approaches on either side inadvertently discouraged horse-drawn carriages from using Lambeth Bridge. The bridge ceased to charge tolls when it was bought by the Metropolitan Board of Works in 1877. Lambeth Bridge deteriorated fairly quickly. The suspension cables and girders began rusting a decade after construction and was rebuilt in 1832. I'm sad this injury is finished. I love the word horse ferry. I try to use it more in day-to-day life, but unless I buy a horse and move near the water, it is unlikely to happen. Sad face. Collectibles. Pressed flowers. Gum cistus. Cistus ladaniferus. One of the most ornamental hardy shrubs we possess, at once pleasing to the eye and grateful to the smell, as Miller observes. The whole plant of warm weather exudes a sweet, glutinous substance, which has a very strong balsamic scent, as well as to perfume the circumambient air to a great distance. Its blossoms, which appear in June and July in great profusion, exhibit a remarkable instance of quickly fading beauty, opening and re-expanding in the morning sun, and before night strewing the ground with their elegant remains, as each succeeding day produces new blossoms. This deciduous disposition of the petals common to the genus is the less to be regretted. Botanical Magazine, Volume 4. A wallflower, Erisium nevidens, a fidelity and misfortune. The wallflower derives its name from the circumstance of its growing upon old walls and being seen on the casements of battlements of ancient castles. Among the ruins of abbeys and on turrets and conches, here minstrels, and troubadours were accustomed to wear a bouquet of wallflowers as the emblem of an affection which is proof against time and misfortune. Language of flowers. Yellow lupine, Lupinus I don't know how to say that word, luteus. The present, with many other species of lupine, is very generally cultivated in flower gardens for the sake of variety, being usually sown in the spring with other annuals where the flower borders are spacious. They may with propriety be admitted, but as they take up much room as their blossoms are of short duration, they are not so desirable as many other plants. It is a native of Sicily and flowers in June and July. Botanical Magazine, Volume 4. Illustrations. So the number 32, testing fire escapes at Lambeth Hill, Upper Thames Street. That's interesting. Number 33, the end of the Tichborne case, arrival of the claimant in Newgate. Number 34, the Oxford and Cambridge boat race, an old varsity war. Good Friday.
I'm not happy about this at all.
Why must you always shoot yourself in the head to summon the precursor consciousness?
Because it works! I tried slitting my wrists, nothing. I tried overdosing on pills. I had to get my stomach pumped. It was all very unpleasant. It has to be a major wound for the artifact to activate.
The risk is unacceptable. Without you, there's no future technology division. So I brought you a qualified volunteer.
I'm Agent Viola DaCosta. It's an honor to meet you, sir.
Ah, is it? I tried to recruit you once, and you turned me down for Sigma Team.
I thought I could do more good in the field.
Horse shit. A dazzling brain like yours is going to waste.
Agent DaCosta is assigned to you for 6 months. Make the most of it.
Then let's get started. Rub yourself in the artifact, please. I know how to summon the precursor, but I've never been able to communicate with him.
This is going to be an interrogation.
Bingo!
If it's all the same to you, I'm going to leave before the mess.
Mess? What did she mean by...
I am Consus, the erudite god.
Yes, yes. Hello. I want to know more about you. Tell me, did you create the shroud?
When I was flesh, I apprenticed with Hephaestus, a maker. The war of unification raged. We created devastating swords to end it, but then healed. I created shrouds to heal.
I suspected that it might have been a tool to treat casualties of war. How does the shroud heal such terrible damage?
The body is a construct, a machine. Blueprints stored within. Shrouds access these recovery centers. Repairs damage to specifications.
A factory reset. Wait. Shrouds? There's more than this one?
This is the original. My prototype. Created in the year 1923 of the Isu era.
Isu era? I have so many questions. But let's stick with you. How is it that your mind resides in this artifact?
I was old. I wanted more time. Bodies are constructs. Minds are programs. Uploaded my program into the shroud to cheat death. Succeeded. Failed. Trapped in my prototype. Trapped in my forgotten land. Alive. Awake. Cannot speak. Only watch. Generations passed. Technology grew. My kind created yours. I never imagined machines like you were possible. My descendants prove me wrong.
Generations? How long have you been...
The damage is repaired. Rest now.
That was indescribable. When can we do it again?
How about now?
Okay, that was interesting. Actually communicating with the memory or the that Isu.
You look distracted.
We were supposed to launch the Abstergo satellite today. What might have been. So, here we are. Our final session together.
I'm not gonna miss getting shot in the face, but...
Yes?
Having Consus in my head is the craziest fucking thing. But it's also... soothing somehow. Is it weird that I'm gonna miss that?
I'll let you in on a secret. I talk to him when no one else is around.
I know what you mean.
Well, let's say our goodbyes and get you on your way.
I am Consus, the erudite god.
Violet is leaving us today, Consus.
Everything is impermanent. Jason, Giovanni Borgia, William Woodman. Here then gone.
I simply thought you might like to say goodbye.
It is good to talk again. To brush up against another mind. Even simple ones such as yours.
I'll choose to ignore that.
You are marvelous creations. Exceeded your programming. Made something from nothing. Flawed but bold. I approve.
What the hell?
The crime temple is open. She lies in wait no longer. She is free.
It is done. The world is saved. You played your part well, Desmond. But now it's time that I played mine.
Minerva has failed. All is lost.
What was that? Answer me!
The damage is repaired. Rest now.
What the hell was that?
Wow, that was this apparently this took place in 2012. I just see the timestamp there, so it's obviously took place in 2012. It's actually took place like right at the end of Assassin's Creed 3. That's kind of cool. Reconstructed data number 12, DDS genetic memory, Renato auditory number 1, Montangerally Italy. A myth became miracle. The holy winding sheet has arrived, freshly plucked from Templar hands of France. I do not want to look at the thing, but I must confirm for myself. I meet my brothers in the villa. My brothers tell me that the shroud's owner, Geoffrey de Charny, suspects nothing. We have paid many men and will make a fortune to replace the shroud with an intricate replica. Remove this burden from history. I can feel something. The moment is lifted from his box, evil and sickness in my belly. I began to take my notes. A man shape has been burned into the shroud, arms to his side, palms forward. According to the church's records, the visage has changed throughout history. Different men. Who are they? He appears to have been tortured. The fabric itself is yellow, old. It has bloodstains on it, which are to be expected with wounds such as these. Satisfied that we possessed what we had sought, we pulled the shroud and put it back into its box. I hear words faint in my mind. One might mistake them for spirits, or for me they simply reinforce the importance of my task. A better place than our walled city to hide such abominations from mankind. We'll bury it deep and set up measures to ensure it remains hidden. We'll burn the church records and send claims of fraud to religious leaders. Who would know it better, flaws better than the ones who forced it? Renato Auditore, son of Domenico and Isabetta, was a pretty forgettable assassin, although he was largely responsible for turning Montergioni into an assassin stronghold. The Auditore family only really gets interesting with Renato's grandson, Mario, and Giovanni Ardant. Isabella Ardant is, I believe, what her name is. I see number 33, genetic memory exports, such as Keith Scipione, date 1944. Location Milan, Italy. This is crazy. What did I do to take off my bosses? Negotiations in the middle war zone while bosses are wait. Oh, this isn't World War II. Our own boys are dropping the bombs on me. For what? Transcendent may be the real thing. Right. Been at this nearly 20 years. I don't even believe it exists. I keep my head low even though I'm dressed as a local. The bag full of money feels like a ball and chain though. These people are suffering. They wouldn't think twice about snatching it off me if they knew what it was. Looking for the restaurant, hopefully. Hopefully it still stands. Meeting with one of the Boogie Bagutiani, who are apparently a bunch of artsy thinker types who sit around all day contemplating the importance of sitting around and contemplating. Place looks empty, but the door's not locked. Inside, the man's waiting for me. He is nervous. He should be. I'm drawing my pistol. I ain't no patsy. He answers by pointing to a wooden box sitting on one of the benches. Sure doesn't look like much to me. I sit my bag down and on the table next to it, keeping my gun level. I lift my box's lid and peer into it. Something's folded up in there. It smells kind of musty. It's dirty as hell, too. It could be this guy's laundry for all I know. I dangle the metal company logo at the end of my keychain and watch it jitter as I move it into the box. I glance at the man and he nods his head. I wait a minute. Maybe it's just the rumblings of some nearby bomb. It doesn't stop. I'll slap my ass and call me Sally. Okay, so that's all the new entries for the database. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.